What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 7 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Khatep Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Oath 1 is in complete havoc as the elves are at war with each other as masterminded by Khatep. Eataine is fighting with both Avalorn and Ivres now, though Avalorn and Ivres do remain in an alliance, and hopefully we can get them both on our side forever. It seems that Alariel, having seen Khatep throw back the Dark Elves of the Scourge of Cain, take back the Sword of Cain, reconquer the Shrine of Cain, destroy the marauding sort of fleets of the Dread Fleet, and kick some of Nakari's forces out, that Khatep is probably the guy to throw her sword behind rather than Tyrion. And, well, we'll see how that all works out for him. In addition to that, we were able to acquire the 7th, I want to say, Book of Nagash, which will give us additional research rate and canopic jar generation per turn, accelerating various things, and we were able to defeat Malekith out here near Arakdo Gorge and Shroktak Mount. Looks pretty good so far, plus on top of that we got the vassalization of the Wood Elves, and it was an eventful time. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, Khatep has taken the White Tower and will proceed southward. We unfortunately do have to destroy Eataine by the looks of it, but hopefully taking their territories and then transferring them to Ivres will allow us to vassalize them and Avalorn, ideally both. We'll see. The little minor factions don't matter. We're still at war with Sir Thara and Tyranok, but hopefully one of the other elven factions takes care of them, because frankly we don't care enough. Anyway, in terms of who still has to move, Rakash certainly does, and looks like he wouldn't be able to reach Malus from here. I do have to wonder where exactly Malus is going, and I think what we'll do is we'll move in an ambush stance like so, and we'll see where Malus attempts to land. I doubt that he's going to attempt Toranlik, since, yeah, it's got way too much stuff in it. But he might try to retake the Shrine of Cain, or just take the Shrine of Cain, and we'll have to defeat him there. Sakom, you are one of our new Necrotechs, and are supposed to join Rahobi's army since the ill-fated Nekesh's Scorpion Legion met their demise yet again. Though, of course, they're immortal and they'll come back, but we'll have to wait a little bit. Rahobi's fine where he is, and I do believe that's that for all the moves we can make this turn, so we're ready to end the turn and see if anything interesting happens. We're not actually researching a Necrotech. I believe I switched that to, yes, Proclamation of the First Dynasty for that campaign movement range. It's about time that we get that going. Skip this outpost upgrade available. No, we're not wasting money on that right now. And end the turn. Lovely. Alright, while the turn is ending, as usual, or once again, we did reach the engagement threshold, so this will be a roughly an hour-ish long episode, and, ooh, Malus will attack us. Yes, hour-long episode, 400 likes and 60 comments in the next episode will be an hour long as well. This should be a pretty fun fight, especially as Malus is always very difficult to deal with /bring down. Plus, this is a rather basic army at the, well, at the current time, though at the same time, we don't really care about what happens to pretty much anything in this army, and that doesn't matter much. Let's see if we can't get Rakash a nice buff for defeating Malus. Go. Alrighty, here we go. An army that is not Khatep's, and a rather weak army for now, at least, meaning that we should have a pretty tough / fun battle. Malus Darkblade is going to be particularly difficult to deal with here, and more likely than not, we're probably best off ignoring him until the rest of his army is destroyed. Now, as for his army, I'm pretty sure this is his starting stack, as he has 2 Cold One Dread Knights, or Cold One Knights rather, and the Scourge Runner chariots. So if we destroy this army, we could significantly weaken his faction, depending on what exactly he has built in his territory. Not being able to see it, we're not sure. Anyway, we're going to have our Nehekara horsemen, or horse archers, I should say, or skeleton horse archers, annoy the enemy as best they can, though the Scourge Runner chariots are going to be pretty adept at attacking them. Now, Malus, by virtue of attacking us, did give us the ability to use that defensive sandstorm that we have, which is quite nice. Gonna get a little bit of damage on the enemy army just to get it on cooldown, and then hit them again with it as soon as we can. Out here, it looks like the enemy master has surged forth. He was actually going after our units of skeleton chariots and such, and we'll be fighting him here instead. This guy wielding a halberd and a sword at the same time? Alright. Well, I guess this guy can hold a shield and a halberd. Works for me. Let's see who's the stronger here in melee. What I will do to you, speed, melee attack, 5, leadership, huh? Oh, I didn't see that Rakash has this contact effect on him. Wait, he increases the enemy's speed. Well, I guess it's sort of a fear-inducing thing. Make them run away, make them lose melee attack and leadership. Kind of interesting. Anyway, he is very much winning this fight. He probably wouldn't win against a Malus, but against a single, relatively low-level master, he should be just fine. Now, over here, Cold One Knights have charged on in against Nehekara warriors. That should be a not-so-great matchup for us, but we will try to pincushion the Cold One Knights as best we can, and not to let them get properly engaged. Out here, ooh, looks like we get a few shots from the enemy Medusa, and it's going to be the main target here, as the Medusa, as we saw when we fought against Malekith with Medusa, is going to be racking up a fairly decent amount of kills and doing a fairly decent amount of damage. So all of our archers that can reach it are going to attack the Medusa. Out here, we've led away one of the units of Cold One Knights, I should say, but they have managed to catch those skeleton archer chariots. And we gotta remember that we don't have a lot of armor piercing on these units, whether it be the chariots or the skeleton horse archers. And the Cold One Knights, not Dread Knights, just regular Knights, still have 115 armor and a silver shield as well, so fairly difficult to deal with them. Out here, Dread Spears are facing off against the Nehekara warriors, a more sort of close matchup. Oh, damn. The Dread Spears have a lot more melee attack and melee defense. That's a little bit surprising. And you'd expect the Twin Blades to do more melee attack, or to have more melee attack, and then a Dread Spear unit. But we've got the healing, and hopefully that'll allow us to carry the day. Now, we also have the Assyrians Legion of the Netherworld, which is a fantastic unit with their ethereal. They absolutely made mincemeat of this unit of Bleak Swords, who managed to kill not a single one of them, and are going to run them down before chasing after another. The Medusa has finally succumbed to all of the arrow fire, and will be switching to another unit. But we've still got plenty of battle ahead of us. Unfortunately, this unit of Nehekara warriors, while holding back a bunch of enemy Black Ark Corsairs and those Cold One Knights, are in pretty bad shape now, below half HP, and will probably begin melting away soon. Malus is facing off against the Tomb King Rakash here, while we get a little bit of help from the enemy, or from the Tomb Guard. Granted, Rakash is bound for a full retrofit of his army, and, well, I suppose this battle is liable to bring us a little bit closer to it, as at least a fair few units are liable to melt away. Down goes one of the Nehekara warriors there. First losing one of his twin blades, then losing his head. This one's still fighting on with only a single arm, and down the skeleton goes. It's always fun watching the skeleton units continue to fight, because they have that aspect of them where they can lose sort of parts and continue fighting. It's always nice. Battle's about 80% in our favor now. The Master has, well, he actually routed from fighting Rakash and rallying, is now chasing around skeleton archers chariots. Most of the enemy backline has failed. Gotta give it to, once again, the Flock of Joff for being an absolute menace in the backline. Out here, this duel between the Dread Spears and the Nehekara warriors continues, though the Dread Spears now, with murderous prowess, are going to have 86 melee attack. Not quite twice that of the Nehekara warriors, but nearly so. Let's see who manages to win this, though. We still do have at least a little bit of healing, and for once, unlike Khatep's army, this army is going to take damage, and damage means Realms of Souls activation. We've had the first one up, and the second one's only 20 kills away. And there we go, there's these, wow, the 20 units just died instantly. Oh, probably Malus activating one of his abilities. Looks pretty good. We've got the healing now. It won't keep these Nehek warriors up and running, but it probably won't matter all that much. There's the other Sandstorm. They defended, they held the enemy in place and allowed us to pop the Sandstorm right on top of them. Charging chariots and birds in the background, right into the back of some of those dark shards, and I do believe all the enemy range units are out. With them, the melee unit, melee line rather collapses, and Malus will decide to book it on out of there as well. Alright, and that arrow was hanging really weirdly from his arm. Is it still there? Oh, damn, it disappeared. It was kind of like hanging down from his arm. Oh, it reminds me of that, oh wait, is it still, there's a different arrow. It reminds me of the Malus books where Malus asks Archaon for a rope, basically, for a labyrinth, and Archaon was like, "Oh, nothing could be simpler." And he essentially forced the veins out of Malus's body and sort of played them behind him as he walked, like a rope to find his way in the labyrinth. It was perfect. You gotta love Archaon. Anyway, Malus is out, booking it on out of there. We're gonna give our best attempt to chase the enemy down. Though we're pretty damaged here, we should still be able to chase a decent amount of them. Alright, there we go, a few units lost, one of the Tomb Guard, a couple of the units of Nehek warriors, but once again, it's Tomb Kings, and it's early game Tomb Kings at that, so gotta expect losses among our infantry until we get constructs and more elite units in these armies. Plus, as we said at the start of the battle, we don't really care about anything that happens to any of these guys, and Rakash is hankering for a nice retrofit. We're going to take the Endless March money, giving us 30k, a little bit over, which is pretty nice. Malus is alive as well, so we'll have to chase him down, and we get that lovely defeat trait for Malus, or at the very least lovely in terms of the damage dealt. I think the armor loss would be not so good on Khatep, who already has only 45 armor or something like that, but at least the Tomb Kings can be mounted on War Sphinxes, and that fixes their armor situation. Ambush foiled for Rakash? Yeah, we know, game. We know. And, oh, we had a mission for that. That's great. And that is great. Channeling Staff and Proclamation of the First Dynasty complete as well. We should be able to knock out the remnants of this army in, let's say, Dynasty's stance with the L'Oreal potentially helping out. And I take it this will give her the defeat trait. I just want to see something. So her current armor is at 50. If we do this better not kill off our chariots. Okay, no. And hey, a Razor Standard. Very nice. Take the money again. Her armor is now at 40. Yeah, so she got the defeat trait in. A lost armor for that. Not so great on lords that don't have a lot of armor. But anyway. Now Rakash. You could attempt to chase down Admiral Leech, so there's no guarantee that you'll actually reach him. The Sea Corpses here, which you could go for. I think for now you're going to have to move to Shrine of Cain in order to defend it, because of the dimmed suns here. That's him to take it. We're definitely going to need the forces. So we're going to be stuck here for a little bit. Might be able to recruit some stuff while you're at it, though I don't think you can take this army without the defenses of the Shrine of Cain helping out. And frankly, if Ilaria loses armies to these guys, or even territories to these guys, it's not necessarily a bad thing, as it might lead us to a vassalization of her if we can get it to happen. So, anyway, you, Khatep, can reach Angariel from here, which is fantastic, so to Angariel we shall go. Passing through our friend Eltharian's territory. I take it KARI has moved to the Shrine of Loek. We'll let her resolve this. Still way more damage than it should have been, but whatever. And Occupy, gotta get those jars. Wand of Jet, ooh, nice. Why nice? Because I believe we have 2 items now that we can turn into another item. Channeling Staff and Wand of Jet out into a Talisman of Endurance. Alright, not horrible. Also, let's see. Do we give Rakash the Armor of Destiny? I mean, we could for now. If we give it to another lord later, then we'll give it to another lord later. I still haven't 100% decided what exactly I want to do with his particular army. Effectively his main, his one buff is this weapon strength plus 20 thing. So we could make him like our Scorpion Lord, for example. I mean, to mountain attrition. He has Poison of Sock. He has Poison of Sock. Huh. Disciple of Sock is the Scorpion. Yeah, okay, he's gonna be our Scorpion, man. I was wondering who, and that'll work out. That'll work out quite nicely. I didn't even realize he had that. Now, we've still got buildings to build, or things to build. I also decided to build a couple of Deepwood Scouts between the episodes while taking a look at diplomacy and stuff, simply because we had 100 allegiance with our vassals, and the Sisters of Twilight, or the Heralds of Ariel, whatever. Actually, we should take the missions as well. Kill Alistar, kill Herieth. It seems they're hanging out at the Maelstrom. And kill Soul Criers? Soul Criers. It's an odd name. Why is it in plural? Maybe it's like an amalgam of creatures or demons in one. Anyway, I guess we'll take the Herieth mission and Navalorn. Also Alistar, okay. They all want him dead before he can build up a massive pile of white lines. And we want KARI here. I think out of these guys, we will hunt down KARI inevitably. Man, I don't even remember what KARI's defeat trait is. It's been a while. Alright, well, I guess we'll figure that out as we get towards him. Now, the Necrotechs, what was I doing with you two? Well, you went through Master Builder and you went for the Hierotitan sculpture, just to get ready for when we actually get the Hierotitans. Alright, fine, go for Master Builder and then do the same thing there. Gotta get those Hierotitans after all. And frankly, Khatep's army is probably not the only one that will warrant at least some Hierotitans, because they do fire damage, and I think they're the only other source of fire damage in the Tomb King's roster, meaning we should make use of them. Also gotta pay attention to the dwarves for when they attack us. Do we take Rakdo Gorge? The thing is, we can't really hold it. And I don't really have any intention of doing so. Oh, Sisters of Twilight are moving over there. Almost tempted to go down here, grab Storag Core. I wonder if we could trade it to these guys for Clarkaron. I want that Layers of Clarkaron thing. Although I guess if we take Storag Core, we might be able to potentially get the entire territory. Grief also gives us the iron and marble, though I suppose, once again, we don't have to pay as much attention to money as we might otherwise. Anyway, Rehobi, let's put this guy into your army. And, oh, you won't be able to reach Rakdo Gorge in one turn, then. We could wait for your retrofit. On the other hand, yeah, well, probably we need to wait for the retrofit before grabbing the Book of Nagash up here. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. I go here, stay around Storag Core, or Shroktak Mount, rather. And if we need to push up towards Storag Core, we will. But it's not like it's the highest priority right now. Alright, looks good to me. Next up, Remoranef. You have completed the recruitment here, and there are no further there is no further recruitment to be made, so you're going to push up here. And the next turn, this recruitment is going to be completed. Do we want to build anything more out of the Sisters of Ariel stuff before we waste the Allegiance, or before the Allegiance starts climbing back up? The thing is, I guess we could build some more Deepwood Scouts. Put them in the Asaf army for a little bit more range damage, at least while we don't have any, or at the very least, a lot of artillery available to us. And while these guys aren't artillery, being relatively short range at only 160, they're still longer than our skeletal archers, so it is what it is. And they'll certainly still be able to dish out damage. Alright, the rest of you look good. You're all going to swap units around. Who's up next? Hetakor, you are out here looking for that Nemesis crown, seeing if the dig site will appear. From what I remember, the dig sites have a tendency to appear around here, but I don't know if the announcement has been made yet, or that we're actually capable of seeing them as yet. Next up, I want to get a couple more heroes. So Tomb Prince, Lich Priest, another Necrotect would be swell as well. Ah yes, Apprenticeship of Tatamosa will give us another Necrotect. And do all of these despite their cost. Probably the better thing to do, as heroes give us a lot of mileage on the Tomb Kings, generally speaking. Next up, we got buildings to build, or at the very least, potentially. Probably not a lot of them. Ashen Coast, you are going to go for the Grand Ossuary. Titan, wait. You need to switch now? I mean, not really. Still Frets will be ready, and then you'll build some stuff there. Alright, that's fine. Worship of SF, fine here. I guess we could switch to growth, but at the same time, public order needs to rise so that things are built faster anyway. You're fine as you are. Etain, you are going to not collect income. Nagaroth. 4 turns, eh? Alright, well, let's hope that we can hold on to that. And White Tower of Hoeth, I'm not 100% on my decision as to whether we keep it or not. Next up, Diplo. Haven't checked you in a while. Probably with good reason, as there's not much there. Hag Grief, well, you want peace again. Oh, Malus. I do love you, man, but silly. Anyway. We still want... Oh. You know what? We'll do. We'll hold off on the Necrotect, and instead we're going to spend the money to unlock the Golden Host of Mahrok. I wanted this guy, I wanted Rehobi to command our sort of Nehekar warrior ones, with the Osirian's Legion of the Underworld and the Ghost of Mahrok, or Golden Horde Host of Mahrok, whatever. The main sort of units there, especially as Osirian's Legion is a scary unit, and the Golden Host are essentially a unit of Nehekar warriors that are as powerful as Tombguard in terms of their capabilities, so, yeah. A bit of mix of that sort of thing. Anyway, unassigned skill points outpost upgrade available, still no. We did build the outpost of the Gaian Vale, yes? Yes. 2,000. You know what, screw it, just build the outposts. Build both of the outposts. There we go, good enough. We don't need the tier 3, but we'll go for the tier 2. Alright, Etain. I'm fully expecting them to sail a full stack down towards us Malekith. One's piece now, not cute. No, sir. Who are you at war with, by the way? You are at war with Avalorn, Exiles of Nehek, that's us, Ancestral Throng, and Heralds of Ariel, so basically no one else. We're the only ones really keeping you down, so, yeah. Maybe the Sisters of Twilight can make some headway up there. So gotta keep an eye on additional full stacks coming in from... Oh, wait. Did the Dimsungs destroy a gate? Where are they going? What is this? Alright, we gotta see what they're doing over there. Sacrifice to Mathland, Confederation Vissenland, and Nordland, was it? Or was it Midland? It doesn't really matter. I just saw the blue and blue flag. Stolen Lore, raid Harkaldra. Okay, fine. We can raid Harkaldra. And Sisters of Twilight should have no problem taking Rakdo Gorge, which is fine. You, I guess, can proceed sort of to Storag Core, or we could go to Kragroth Deep and try to strike at Hag Grief. I'm still wanting to retrofit you, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't really do anything, so sort of proceed over here, like so. Colonization cost isn't too crazy, and it'll give us a vision of the place around here, and we may trade it away anyway, depending. Next up, you guys. Alright, so, these guys are not fire damage. What we could do is give the fire army a couple of scorpions, and then eventually replace them with... Okay, wait, first of all, you're supposed to command the fire army, right? Yeah. Eventually replace these scorpions with, and I'm aware that the Wood Elves do have fire arrows, but, well, we have enough arrows in the Krokagar Legion, I think. Replace the scorpions with Hyro Titans, so we'll take 3, like so, or keep 3, and that'll give us 16 units. We'll probably need a little something else, at least a couple of heroes, a Tomb Prince to act as a fighter. I could keep a couple of Great Bow Shabti in here for now. I want the Sepulchral Stalkers in the other army for SF purposes. On the other hand, we are going to be building our Shabti army relatively shortly, but... And these guys aren't doing fire damage, but then again, to be fair, nobody else is either. Alright, fine. Keep a couple of Shabti. 18 units should be fine. I just want the army to be more or less viable enough to do things. Next up... Did we not build the capacity? I went for something else, didn't I? What did I go for? I don't remember. Oh, right, I went for the Golden Host of Mahrak, which we still now need to recruit. Now we can do the Necrotect, one of which is going to go into this army to repair the Scorpions until they become fiery Hyro Titans, and the rest of this looks good. These guys now have 20 fire resistance to compensate for their weakness, nice. And the question now is, where do we send them? We will be likely to fight Mazda Mundi, but these guys aren't going to be super great against Mazda Mundi, I think. Let's send them around to Storag Core for now. And they can colonize this and meet up and then grab some heroes and then move this way, essentially. Need to take out some of our threats. King Aroprophos, you are going to spend apparently 3 turns recruiting the Golden Host of Mahrak, on which we will be trading up to that army above. Maybe I should have grabbed a few more Scorpions and the other things in order to transfer them, but oh well, not a big deal. And just get just sort of a smattering of random other units. And we may trade them, we may keep them, we may delete them, but if you're recruiting and you have space, why not? No reason not to. Did you abandoned Lothern, really? You were that scared that we were going to... Huh, interesting. Okay, well, we should take Lothern, but at the same time, the KARI is right there. And probably very much worth fighting. So I think we're gonna go after Nakari. So, Lich Priest, to you, sir. We could keep going through Onslaught. Yeah, let's keep going through Onslaught. And that's the only level we have. So, for Nakari, do we keep the Sword of Cain? It'll be magical damage. Or do we keep the Sword of Cain? Do we go for Casket, or do we stay on Mount for this? I mean, we probably want to reposition quick to dish as much damage out of the Demon Nets and the various infantry that the enemy has, so I think we'll stay on Horse or on Mount for now. We do have 2 Caskets to do the Casket thing, after all. Alright, hit Nakari, please. Colossal victory there. We've got a few additional troops coming in as reinforcements. Close victory, we'll see about that. Go. Alrighty, here we go, Nakari and a Slaaneshi host, and he's got the Marquis of Masochism, Keeper of Secrets Regiment of Renown with him as well. Should be a pretty fun / tough fight, as the enemy has massive speed and loose formations, which prevent us from getting too much mileage out of our Caskets of Souls, and the enemy will be able to close the distance rather quickly. Anyway, we're gonna start the battle off with that Vortex of Cain coming down on an enemy unit of devoted Marauders of Slaanesh and a unit of Demon Nets ripping right through them both, while a Skullstorm does the same to another unit of Demon Nets out there. Nakari will get hit by a combination of Assyrian's Incantation of Vengeance and Spirit Leech to start lowering its HP, and we're certainly gonna need it because Nakari is a heck of a fighter. And it looks like a Lash of Slaanesh gonna hit our Tomb Guard just as the Fiends of Slaanesh and one of the cultists will charge into them. Hopefully the Iron Sand Striders will be able to hold. We don't have those halberds in this army as yet, or at the very least we don't on the Tomb Guard, but the Sepulchral Stalkers are a different matter, and we'll be going after those Fiends of Slaanesh. In the meantime, Nakari has made it in and is going directly after Khatep, who is still a little bit busy casting, but will now start fighting against Nakari, with a little bit of help from that Sphinx of Usak. That said, we still gotta remember that Nakari is a much stronger fighter than Khatep. Khatep isn't really meant to be a fighter at all, and will quickly lose about 2/3 of his HP. Not to worry though, we can counteract those Potion of Healing up. Will take him probably to full health if we don't count Nakari continuing to attack him. Plus, while he has that Foz Protection upgraded up and running, 42 melee damage resistance as well as the additional ward save, putting him up to 67% ward. Should be pretty solid. And though once again, we do also have to remember that Khatep has relatively low HP. I mean, compared to Emmerich, who has like 12k, Nakari, or not Nakari, Khatep, no matter what mount he uses, only has 4.5k HP, so he could die very quickly. Especially if he gets hit by stuff. And ooh, looks like Nakari is going to pop off a big old spell of Phantasmagoria right in the middle of our formation, blocking or preventing the Sphinx of Usak and pretty much our entire line from moving. Nakari's down to half HP and Khatep has climbed back up to half HP as well. We just need the Sphinx to be able to move again and to be able to attack, as the Phantasmagoria is minus 100% melee attack, and quite the issue. Anyway, Nakari is bloodied and at about half of its HP, and while the enemy is casting, we are as well. We got the Soul Blight down on the enemy and various defensive buffs on our own. Blob looks like the biggest brawl on the battlefield is going to be on this right flank, where our Necro Serpents attempt to hold the line together with our Tomb Guard. Nakari down to a sliver of HP now, and we're going to back Khatep away as the Sphinx of Usak will hopefully finish him off. No wink this time for you, Nakari. And let's see that final blow, or will Nakari just melt away? Ooh, knockback on the Sphinx of Usak, but at least it can move again, and the Marquis of Masochism has come in to join the fray as well, but a little too late as Nakari will fall. Khatep will leave the Sphinx of Usak to deal with the Marquis of Masochism for now, while he takes care of this Chaos Spawn with his Sword of Cain, and should be able to bring it down real quick after a few more casts. Alright, come on now. There we go, down goes the spawn, and then onward towards the Marquis. But however, that looks like the enemy army has now suffered enough of a morale shock. The battle will be ours rather shortly, as with Nakari falling, and the Slaneshi have just lost heart. And there we go, the Necro Serpents managed to hold once again, together with the Storm Riders of Xar and those Tomb Guard, though once again we do need more and better Tomb Guard. Ooh, they look nice when they're all lit up red by the Sword of Cain as well. Very nice, Khatep, very nice. He certainly took damage here, but it was worth our time. A heck of a fight. That saw a lot of our units get heavily damaged, but a very interesting matchup against the Slaneshi. Tomb Kings with their relatively slow armies versus the very quick-moving armies of the Slaneshi. Although that said, the early game Tomb Kings have rather big weapon strengths, but rather low armor-piercing damage, and Slaneshi, until Chaos Warriors and Chosen have relatively low armor as well. So that does lend itself well to actually fighting them and dishing out damage to them. Anyway. Alright, very nice once again. A rather close call between Nakari and Khatep there, but, Khatep came out ahead at the end of the day. That darn Phantasmagoria, though, locking down about half of our army and preventing them from moving, destroying their melee attack, and also preventing the Necrosphinx, the Sphinx of Usak, from helping Khatep out. We lost one of our chariots, but they're not actually supposed to be in this army anyway, so that's just fine. And we will take the place for ourselves. And what is Nakari's defeat trait? Please don't tell me it's just anti-Slaneshi. Oh, speed plus 20% for Lord's army? That's nice. That's real nice. I love it. Especially for the slow Tomb Guard and eventually the extremely slow Hyro Titan. That'll be working out quite well. Alright, I've got a free Executioner's Axe, weapon strength and sundering attacks. Now, unfortunately, we can't put it on the Necrotects. We're probably going to have to put him on another army. Possibly on a Tomb Prince and another army on another Tomb King or something like that. And what do we have here? Shrine of Loek. Caranthel is ours. We'll keep the Charnel Plaza for now, and then we'll probably trade it to these guys. How are you for that vassalage? Minus 117. Ooh, did defeating Nakari, just out of curiosity. No, still 105. I was wondering whether defeating Nakari was going to reduce our chances. How much is Angariel on Caranthel worth to, just out of curiosity? 22 and 4. Angariel's basically worthless. I wanted to trade for Port Elistor, but you're not going to do that right now. I'll have to build some military structures and deal with it otherwise. Alright, I'm not sure that we want to get bogged down building too much of our own stuff on the donut, but I'll think about it. Lothern is a pretty good settlement and will give us that tradable resources produced. It's not much, but every little bit of trade does help the Tomb Kings out a fair bit. Anyway, Khatep leveled up and has finally gotten his access to his Skullstorm. He's been waiting for that for a long time. You, Lich Priest of Light, you can grab Onslaught as well. Necrotects, yes to the Tomb Strike. And are you at the Tomb Strike as well? No, you are going to grab the Hierotitan Sculpture and then move towards Tomb Strike afterwards. Alright, there's the levels, we're good there. Anything else that we need to do? King Rakash, you are stuck here until we figure out what to do about these guys. Frankly, until Khatep comes around, most likely you're not going to be able to deal with the with that Orky army. You can, however, replace some of your lost units, so grab a couple of skeleton spears to hold the line, and if you sit here for 4 turns, you could build yourself a scorpion if you wanted to. Just the one, mind you. And we were going to make you a scorpion guy, but do we want... You know what? Stay here. You might not stay here for 4 turns, but we could just cancel it if we desire to do so, so I think that'll be just fine. And if you do end up staying, then you get a free scorpion, essentially. Anyway, you keep on looking around. The last time I saw the crown, the dig sites appeared out here. Doesn't mean they'll appear out here again, but really gotta just pay attention to the next announcement if it says, like, found near somewhere in the Empire. Figure out where it actually is. Anyway, building time. Ashen Coast, yes to the Grand Ossuary for money. Sulfurettes, you will be upgraded next turn. Red Desert, keep on growing. Actually grown pretty nicely, good. Titan Peaks, nothing to be done here, just stay in public order. Plain of Dogs, your public order is good. We could reduce it. You'll start dropping, however. But we could grow with an extra, was it 60 per turn? Yeah, it's an extra 60 growth per turn, it's not insignificant. Alright, fine. We'll sort of switch between Worship of Tra and Worship of Asaph periodically. Alright, Angariel is fine. Shrine of Cain is still building for hopefully that vestige. Tower of Loeth. Tower of Loeth? White Tower of Hoeth. I don't even know. We'll build that up, and then by the looks of it, we're good. Diplomacy, you're up next. I don't imagine that there will be anything, but just in case, we should check stuff out. Nagron and Hagrief still want peace, but that's not going to happen right now. Rights. Anything interesting here? We do want that great incantation of Geheb, and we're near to that 500 canopic jars. Now that could mean if we wanted to, we could raise another lord, but I think we're going to take the opportunity to get the relics of power instead, so we could delete the building and then build another building instead. Actually, Royal Burial Chamber and Hekara's Citadel, unless I'm mistaken, are both tier 4, right? Where's the Royal Burial Chamber? Which one are you? Yeah, both tier 4. Alright, we'll build those up. We'll need a Nehekara Citadel, at least one to unlock techs either way. I think that's not the only tech. Oh, actually, maybe it is the only text that it unlocks. You will need to be built everywhere because +4 canopic jars is a big difference. Anyway, what are we building up next? Another Necrotech, yes, alright. Alright, so that looks good. So, skip and end the turn. How's that recruitment going? 3 turns, okay, you're going to be recruiting for a while, but at least you're ready to... You're sort of ready to fight, just need some heroes. Yeah, a Prince and a Necrotect, most likely. Frankly, we're going to have at least one Necrotect in every single darn army, because somebody has to upkeep those constructs. And many a construct there will be. Malus Darkblade, what you want, buddy? Oh. Peace treaty still. I'm still disinclined to piss these two off, so I'm gonna say no for now. Also notice that Malus is trading with Wulfric, so we may be forced into fights with the Norskins as well, as if they run out of enemies, they'll start sailing on over here. Really depends on how well the Empire does. Alright, is that... what is this? Oh, Chaos Rebel Uprising. Okay, I thought that was one of Malekith's armies that we'd need to deal with, but it looks like we're okay. Mission aborted. Hero upgrade, or hero capacity for Necrotects is up. And... we're gonna pop into your army, so. Recovery and hit points, Frenetic and Genius Architect. The recovery isn't too bad. I like the poison better. However, Especially on that chariot. I just like it better. More opportunity to actually do damage with these guys. So I'm going to recruit you, and then I'm going to delete you, and then we'll just mill you in that manner. Alright, Khatep. I probably could have just built you a regular warrior. And oh! Huh, Elisele has fallen at these guys. That's interesting. I was going to use them to declare war on Kurun so that we didn't get forced into... Well, they're not in a defensive alliance with Reichland right now. Because we need that book. Oh well. Either way, I see Alistar is out here with a decent stack. Nonetheless, we should probably push on towards Lothern, which does have a garrison. The unfortunate aspect of this being... Huh. Actually, wait. Go here. Probably should have... Wait. Valiant defeat. A moment. Where's Tyrion? I wonder if he's down or not. He might be at the Galleon's graveyard. What we want to do is actually besiege this. We might be able to force these guys into a field battle. Look, it would be easier to fight it in the siege. We just obliterate them via the artillery bombardment, but it would be a broken siege battle because there's a defensive garrison here. So I'd rather fight them in the field if possible to actually get a cinematic going. Starting the Mastaba, I guess. Yeah, I should have built that up while these guys were here, but oh well. Not a big deal. Not like that territory matters or anything like that. Rehobi, move to Kragroth Deep and colonize it, giving us a vision. Also got to keep track of the of this army. Until we get our retrofit, we probably won't be able to take it or anything like that. But well, we are certainly approaching the ability to do so. You, Ramaranef, whatever. Go to Storag Core. I guess entomb beneath the sand so that you don't suffer mountainous attrition. Grab Storag Core. And now... I milled you this turn. Okay, I got it. I get confused sometimes. Head to core, stick around here. Not much else for you to do. Oh, Carl is hanging out with 2 stacks outside of the Brass Keep, but more likely than not, he won't actually bother deleting it or destroying them. So, just the way it's most likely to be. Anyway, Dynasties. I'm guessing we're going for Relics of Power, campaign movement range, research, construction time. Yes, more of these research techs we get, more will speed up the research and power ourselves up further, which is nice. I do believe unless there's buildings to build, which there may be, we'll be able to end the turn rather shortly. Mortiferous Sanctuary, Grand Ossuary, and I'm inclined to say build another Ushabti building. I mean, yeah, we go for the treasure tomb or something else, but we are going to have the Ushabti army come up relatively soon, and thus we're going to need to start spamming Ushabti capacity. As we will need a fair few of them. Plus there's a... we have to... Oh, the Ushabti king, however, was it the 4th dynasty? Yeah, increases the capacity of Ushabti by 2 each, plus missile strength for Ushabti, which is nice. Yeah, just gotta get you on the field ASAP. Kragroth. Yeah, don't collect income rather, and then build you up, and that's all the buildings we gotta build. Do we have to switch commandments? Not here. Not here, at least not for now, though we probably will later. Cleric Spire keep growing just fine, and you have to switch commandments as we will build stuff at Grey Rock Point, including the Grave Port and hopefully our first tomb bark soon. Nice. Alright, just gotta get those capacities climbing. Unassigned skill points, outpost upgrade available, and turn. Well, let's see if Alistar attacks us with the garrison of Lothern together. He should. No, he won't. Alariel, what you want? You want us to join war against Be'lakor? Yes, but not right now. We got other things to do. Tyrion is here by himself. Oh, I guess, Altharion, Tyrion, and Alistar kind of killed themselves, but I guess this way we could at least get Tyrion's defeat trait if we abandon the siege at Lothern. And I believe Tyrion's defeat trait is +2/+2 melee attack and defense for the entire army, unless I'm mistaken, which is a solid trait. Or at least something along those lines. Nemesis Crown claimed. Oh, well, damn. Wait, why did it go all the way out here? A Tallyman of Pestilence claim it? Huh. Are you saying they're down here? Are they up the... Huh? Where did they claim it? Well, that's a shame. I mean, we could try to hunt them down. The question is, we don't know where they are. It says it's over here, but I think this is broken. It's just showing us the capital of the Tallyman, rather than where exactly the Nemesis crown is. The Tally... Oh, there they are. The symbol's right there. We should just keep an eye on that and still probably hunt them down. Alright. Let's see if we got a decent new Necrotech this time around, if I can find a place. Necrotech? Another frenetic one, Alright, fine, just keep ignoring you. Keep ignoring you, grab Storag Core, hopefully trade it for Archaon and that lovely layer. Colonize the place. And gain a substantial income. That increased our income, huh? Oh, I guess that quest was actually just completed this turn, so... And another potion of healing, yes please. Alright, don't collect the income, yes build the crypts. Well, let's go for Tyrion. Alright, he's obviously going to run. We need to abandon the siege here and just hope that our guy goes this way. Okay, beautiful. And... Oh, really? Are we stuck? Does this exert a permanent zone of control in that you're not able to... That'll be really annoying if that's the case. It does, that's so stupid. Okay, well, I guess we have no choice. Yeah, so this won't work as a cinematic battle, right? Okay, I'll just double check. And well, alright, we're gonna have to fight this manually, guys, sorry, but it is what it is. It just means a fairly long bombardment. Now, you, sir... We could try to move towards a true Grandmaster and give these guys the leadership, but it's not going to be super useful right now. I'm inclined to say just keep going through Desert Strike and Tomb Strike. Potentially even keep you on foot and actually have you as a melee fighter. Rather than the Chariot, I'm not entirely sure yet. Moonmaker for now. Alright, let's do this real quick. Probably should have put Khatep on the casket, but then again, somebody will need to lead the forces in to actually attack Lothern, so... I suppose if we sack it, we could still go after Tyrion and then come back to it, though the danger with that... The danger with that will be that somebody else will take it then. Either way, it's only a tier 2, so we take it a tier 1. I don't really care that much if Eltharion takes it, mind you, however, it's probably worth a lot to him. And if we build it up, potential, probably higher potential for vassalage. Anyway, for now, we've got to actually knock it down before we make any considerations. You two, right here. I would like you to attack the gate, if you're close enough. Alright, the rest of you just sort of hang around. Back here, it'll be a little bit of a while before we can move into the enemy settlements, so don't really care about the setup either. Alright, and start battle. You knock out that gate. Towers are not in range. Beautiful. Alrighty, and then you will attack this tower, you will attack this tower, and we're just going to have to wait for a fair bit. There we go, and this is what's so great about the caskets. They'll obliterate all those units on top of the walls just by attacking the towers. The gate's gonna take some time to go down, but that's just fine. Gives us more time to get rid of all those high elven archers. And since the caskets are inaccurate, they will take a long time to bring the towers down. And on top of that, the AI won't dodge shots from this. Though they will, I think, after taking a certain amount of losses, actually abandon the walls, as the AI will realize that something is happening, it's just not super aware what exactly. Alright, switch to this tower, because that's a reasonably full HP unit there. And that gate is going down shortly. Like so. Lovely. Now, would you be able to hit this without getting hit by the enemy towers? I think... Sorry, I hope so. Okay, don't move any closer. No, close. No. Okay, I screwed up. Alright, I was hoping that they would be able to attack this without getting hit by these towers. I guess we'll have to wait. I mean, technically, we probably don't even need to deal with that one, but just in case. Alright, tower 1 down. You can switch to this tower, I guess, and let's speed it back up to max. And this is why, well, I would have preferred a field battle. Because this takes a while, and, well, the outcome is kind of assured, isn't it? Alright, how are you doing, tower? A couple more hits on you and you'll be done for. At least the Screaming Skull Catapult will probably speed this up a fairly considerable bit. Actually, are you able to attack this Lothern Seaguard, or if we target them directly, will they attempt to move off the field? Yeah, Khatep, go over there. I'd like you to cast your spells. Probably gonna take a few hits for your trouble, but oh well. Alright, let's speed it back up to normal, or slow it down. Screaming Skulls, let's get a few shots in here. Khatep, how close are you? Yes, here. I should have started with the Cane Vortex, but whatever. Alright, and that's one, and get a little bit closer. Let's get a Skull Storm right there. And then a Cane Vortex. And we could wait on it. Oh wow, it's not doing really any damage to the Phoenix Guard at all. Let's see if the Canine Vortex is a little bit better. Alright, Khatep, back away, still have your potion of healing. And Artillery, you can try to knock down that tower. Alright, there we go. Alright, Khatep's gonna take a bit of damage, but no big. And as soon as the tower's down, we're moving in. For obvious reasons. And down it will go. Beautiful. Alright. Skull Catapult, get a little bit... Oh, wow. I stopped for a second and the High Elven Archers made their way back on top of the walls. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, damn. Really? The other towers are gonna start now? Alright, fine. Sorry, guys. It looks like we'll have to knock down the other towers. But oh well. Khatep, move in. You want to activate your potion? Go for it. Why not? And slow it back down. It's one of the issues also of playing at max speed. Get that storm going. And do we want to activate a Skull Storm on top of that? I assume that these can overlap, like... actually, that's a good question. Yes, Ruinous. Asking the real questions here. Ooh, go here. This increases the effect area. It doesn't look huge either way. Go right to there and try not to get hit by too many arrows. And then back off. How's that tower looking now? It's gonna be like all of our ammunition, unfortunately, on all of our artillery pieces. Meaning we'll actually have to work through the enemy the old-fashioned way. Alright, everybody else now move forward. Tomb Guard. Kipper Guard, you're gonna be needed. Sphinx of Usek and Snacks. Get ready to move, and we'll speed it up. Alright, you guys are gonna be group 2, come on in, the water is fine. And forward. Alright, we're probably gonna get hit by some range units, but what do you do? Ooh, nice shot from the catapults there. And, is this a breach? Oh, I didn't even realize we had breached those walls. Alright, well that's swell. Alright, go, 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 go. Khatep lead, or to some degree anyway. If the, yeah, there we go, we get the free summons anyway. Alright, now. A little bit of area denial. I actually thought these guys would run at us, but they're not doing so. The Eagles will run at us, and we'll take a little bit of damage from our own catapults, but that's just fine. Khatep. And go for the Skull Storm there, or Sandstorm there. Let's buff everybody up in this blob, and then let's double up on it. And there is Incantation and Protection as well. And there we go. Good luck damaging our blob now. Want to use anything? Maybe a... buff on the Necropolis Knights, the regular ones. Taking a little bit of range damage. We should probably get a Skull Storm up. We could do it right here, I guess. Or on those range units, since they're a little bit further away. Alright, now, melee units, you're gonna need a little bit of Soul Blight to prevent you from dishing out any capable damage. Nobody's really taking damage so far, but that could, at some point, theoretically change. You don't fight the Phoenix Guard. Be careful of that, and speaking of the Phoenix Guard, I think you're a rape target for a nice Fate of Biuna. There's an enemy noble in there. Where is our Sphinx of Usek? I didn't even bother putting anybody in groups in this particular battle, because once again, there's no way the enemy can win this. Incantation on you. Still plenty of mana. Let's get a Spirit Leech down on them as well, while Khatep attacks them. And yeah, see, you've taken damage, sir. Heal up the... Heal up the various snakes. Alright, like so. Let's get another protective Lure of Light cast, and another Narrows. Alright, and I believe that Lothern will fall, yes? So another unit left, probably not for much longer. Khatep casts something just to activate your healing. We have a Skull Storm on top of these guys, though I'm willing to bet that we won't even need to reach them. And there we are. And... okay, maybe not. Maybe don't walk into that. Frankly, it probably should have been on a resolval. Oh, some of those were Gate Guard. I didn't even realize. Ah, good for them. Yeah, I think the most damage we took was me accidentally moving the Screaming Skull Catapult into the range of the enemy. 76k damage on Khatep, solid now with 3 vortexes available to him, plus the massive damage from the Sword of Cain and melee. He's still fragile, perhaps, but he is contributing a lot more to the battle than he probably otherwise would. Alright, come on now. You don't need to keep looking at the Changeling. Alrighty, and okay, I'm gonna sack it first. I want to see how much movement we have remaining. Scroll of Leech I don't care for. Beleaguer, yes. Are you at war with Eotain? You are not at war with Eotain. If we move towards Tyrion, he will probably run. He will indeed run. How far? Past the settlement. If we take the settlement... Wait, let me just... Yeah, oh wow, Be'lakor. Oh damn. I should sail out and kill Be'lakor too. Man, honestly, if he goes for Lothern, I'd be perfectly happy with that. Tower of Lysaean. If we attack this, Tyrion will be drawn into the fight. We could sack this as well, but I feel then we wouldn't be able to reach Lothern again. I guess we could try. Alright, let's do it. Let's see. What are we missing here? We do have the Incantation of Desiccation, but I'm pretty inclined to go for the Magical Reserves first. More mana for more crazy casting nonsense. Onslaught is good. We're still trying to head towards Retinue Physician, however, so let's get that miscast-based chance. Maybe cooldown, in fact, because you spam Spirit Leech just non-stop. Necrotect? You were going for Tomb Strike, yes? So Blade Master first and into Tomb Strike, then we will hit Tower of Lysaean and get Tyrion's defeat rate. It might be our only chance. You know what, since that one failed as a cinematic battle, or we couldn't do it, we could do this one. Still gonna be a very tough time bringing Tyrion down, I would wager, even with him as damaged as he is, so worth a fight, go. Alrighty, here we go, against the High Elves this time, and admittedly we did screw Eotain over quite a bit, but, well, what are they gonna do, complain about it? Anyway, battle will start as usual. Vortexes will come down from Khatep, right into the middle of the enemy formation, and now it's 3 vortexes all at once. This is probably going to very heavily damage this first army. Of course, Tyrion isn't in it and will come in as a reinforcement, but this army will be down to the dregs before he arrives, I bet. Alright, they're not blobbed up anything crazy, but Khatep manages to clear about 3 units out of those vortexes, and the rest of the units are going to walk into the forest, probably hoping that it will protect them from the endless fire from our artillery. There we go. There is also the Illyrian Reaver Archers with their 160 pretty solid range that are taking a few shots at Khatep and attempting to do the dance and dodge our shots as well. Alright, how are the reinforcements looking? About 25 seconds on these guys, as well as another mage coming in as a reinforcement. And the enemy will just keep on doing the dance and trying to avoid every hit they can. Khatep's gonna move back forward, though, as the enemy has waited long enough to not engage us and allow us to double up on those sandstorms again. Sandstorm and Skullstorm moving in together. And by the looks of it, they are in fact different spells, as in the bound ability isn't the same Sandstorm, so they should stack just fine. Or isn't the same Skullstorm. And there we go, even more units cleared out while the enemy has not yet reached our main line. Speaking of reaching our main line, Tyrion has arrived on the field, booking his way forward with decent 76 speed, but he will get hit with an upgraded Spirit Leech from a distance, and will start losing his HP rather quickly. Plus, Khatep is very much on the way, just gotta get close enough to pop that Osirion's Incantation of Vengeance on Tyrion. And there it goes, it'll slow him down, it'll do damage as well. Tyrion is down to about 400 HP, he never had a lot of HP to start with, and Khatep continues making his way forward. Enemy attempted to move towards us with a Great Eagle, but unfortunately the poor thing got obliterated by the Sphinx of Usek. Hardly surprising, as it's a pretty bad matchup, though for those watching the Imra campaign will know never to underestimate the power of the Eagles. Anyway, Khatep comes in one swing from that Sword of Cain, and Tyrion will immediately drop. Perfection. Oh, man, the disrespect. Just coming in and just taking him down with a single blow. Anyway, he had low HP, poor guy. And that's all I wanted out of this battle. That's really all I wanted. And pretty much all we're going to get anyway, as the balance of power shifts to about 90% in our favor. A few of the enemy units did move out of the trees and are heading towards us, but the Necro Serpents are moving out as well. Nice charge into those Elven Archers, sending them flying as we trample the rest and spear what we can. And balance of power still at about 90%. Actually, I thought it would switch to 100% in our favor now. And just gotta run down a few more enemies and we'll be good. White Lions attempting to escape, but getting similarly run down by those Necropolis Knights. Once again, getting fantastic work out of the Necropolis Knights, and it's going to be sad to replace them out of this army eventually. But we'll put them in other armies. Other armies will need ringers as well. Alrighty, and it looks like the White Lions are actually making something of a fight against the Necro Serpents. We don't even really need to march the Tomb Guard forward, as the enemy army will be cleared without their intervention. And cleared, by the looks of it, it has been. The bounce power shifts to about 95% in our favor. The enemy all begin to waver as they get overrun by the monstrous serpents, and with that, the battle is ours. Lovely. I love that. Love that one below, that one hit kill on Tyrion. And we're gonna chase down any other lords we can so that they can't escape and annoy us later. Alright, an easy little fight, but certainly worth it to see Khatep deliver the final blow. And to Tyrion, another 51k damage on him, just dropping in and going with 3 vortexes is pretty nasty work from Khatep. And, oh, no melee defense, is just melee attack, but oh well. On the bright side, we can go right back and reach Lothern, and we'll have to leave the Tower of Lysaon to Avalorn, but, well, it's worth the little Lord defeat rate. Hopefully, we can also get Bellacor's defeat rate while we're at it, since we're stacking them up, and short victory complete. I wasn't expecting that. What do we have to do for the short victory? Oh, you're right, you just have to awaken the 4 Legions of the Legend, and we actually rushed those really quick. Man, I wasn't expecting the short, well, it is a short victory, but at only 45 turns. For long victory, we actually have to get down to Nehek and take all the good stuff. Also, this gave us capacity for all heroes, which is pretty significant. And we're definitely going to make use of it. First of all, you, sir, you need a prince to fight for you, because you're weak in melee. Melee attack and melee defense plus... Well, it's basic. This is basically +10/+10 melee attack and defense, since you're probably going to be on your steed. Loyal Guardian gives you flank and immune, and Infantryman gives you buff when unmounted. Let's go Cavalier. Alright, you won't be able to enter this army immediately, but that's alright. Then you also need a Necrotect. And I guess we'll just... You know what? Take this guy for now. For Tenacious with that recovery. Although, you know what, actually maybe Genius Architect for the 2 extra restores? Go for Genius Architect. If we're only going to have 1 in the army to sort of buff 3 Hyro Titans potentially, then it'll be worth our time. Next up we have Lich Priests available. You have 2, but you... I mean, you're not commanding this army, but you will need Lich Priests. Let's start you off with a Wise Lore of Nehek guy. And immediately get him some Canopic Jars and Jeff's Incantation of Cursed Blades, and pop him into this army. And we do or should have another Tomb Print. No, we don't. Okay, we have another Necrotect available. And I guess we could mill this guy as well. I don't care for the Wayfarer Strider guy. Probably decent when he's on his chariots, but... at least for now, irrelevant. Alright, you 8 turns to get that control +2. Damn. And it's gonna take a long time to get there. I think for now, I'd rather get a few more capacities, just get more heroes and armies. Since we're about to have 3 armies sort of do their own thing, we should have capacities of various types. We need one more Tomb Prince because this guy's this guy's not a fighter either, and we probably won't be able to use his Necrotech to do it for him. And also, speaking of his Necrotech, you need to restore immediately to buff up those units. Also, you are not able to reach KARI from here. I also don't know, are these armies able to attack us or no? Guess we'll find out. For now, entomb yourself beneath the sands and head towards this place. What do we have? Oh, right. Abhishek Bloodgatherer. Yeah, there's way too many elite things in that particular army. We don't want to face off against it with this one until we reinforce, or unless we get the second army in here. Which is certainly a possibility. We could certainly simply move up here. Also, I do wonder, would you be willing to take Storag Core for Clark Harand? Not really, but very close to it. There's certainly potential there. Alrighty, and the rest of that looks good to me. Let's take a look at buildings. Ashen Coast, you will be building more Ushabti for our Ushabti army. Cleric Spire, just keep growing as you're growing. Yes to the Tombbark thing. And Mortiferous Sanctuary, and I guess more growth. Ever more growth. If we didn't need the public order, I would build a Faded Pyramidions into the Golden Age monuments, but the problem with that is we'd have to forego the public order, and we need the public order pretty much everywhere right now, at least until we fix that situation. So I guess we're just going to go with the regular growth building for now. But that'll change as we go. And also, I think you can switch back to Worship of Asa for the public order. Yeah, this will be needing... Oh, actually, no, not for this turn, because we'll upgrade the Petrified Forest next. I lied. Alright. Iron Sand Desert, grow for a little bit, and then switch back later. The rest of this is fine. Southern Yvresse, let's upgrade Karen Thel to trade it away, and let's switch you to a military structure. Frankly, we need to do that everywhere, so I Tower of Hoeth. Switch from public order to military structure, as there's still a decent likelihood that we'll trade you away. Shrine of Cain, ooh, almost tier 3. Ooh, that's good. That is a significant thing. Right now it's worth 69, nice. We'll see how much it's worth after. If only we could trade Tordranil from these guys. We could trade them something else. But these guys are gonna grab Tower of Lysaean and oh! Alistar is besieging Vol's Anvil. Oh, Eltharion, come on, man. Why has Khatep gotta do everything for you, bud? Oh, he almost got wiped out by Nakari, now he's almost getting wiped out by Etain. Just gotta make sure he doesn't die, though. Still minus 105, surprisingly. You know, maybe if we give him... Well, actually, probably not. I was about to say, maybe if we give him more territory, he'll like us more and then be more willing to be vassalized, but it's actually not the case by the looks of it, since Avalorn is no more willing, and they are much friendlier towards us. Let's take you, and Avalorn... Grom the Paunch? Where are you going, Grommy? Huh. Okay, well, we might be able to knock out Grom the Paunch and Belcor. Man, so many, Wolfwan is the place to be, apparently. There's just so many lords and stuff happening out here. It's kind of interesting. Surthara. I'm gonna say Surthara. It's the thing is, Grom might give up and not attack us here, and in that case, we wouldn't be able to get that quest completed. Rest of this, I believe, can be ignored. Khatep, stay where you are. Just build yourself a temporary skeleton spear that you can send into the fight. Yeah, the rest of that I'm happy with. All right, skip, and damage building where? Oh, Lothern. Yeah, repair building. How much? 1,200. A little bit steep, but repair it for now. I'm still not sure whether we'll keep Lothern, but it is a decent thing to have. The thing is, we'll probably have to constantly defend it here, because by the looks of it, the enemy will just keep on sailing over, and I'm not sure that we want to maintain a presence here. I'm a little bit more interested in seeing what's going on in Cathay, and obviously, we still have to hunt the books. We could, I suppose, keep something like the White Tower of Hoeth. And, ooh, they've ended our non-aggression pact. Okay, and they're now in our territory. Okay, well, we're gonna need to deal with those dwarfs. Now, that was always gonna happen. It was inevitable. And hey, Be'lakor, you're right there now. Alright, I guess Khatep gets to fight you and get your defeat trait, too. Or racking up those defeat traits. Absolutely love it. And Curse of the Sword will now give us -5 control. Oh, no. Alright, I love it, but I don't think we can handle -5 control right now. It's too significant. We don't have enough ways to get bonus control on the Tomb Kings without those obelisks, and in certain provinces where there's a limitation on 2 obelisks, the negative control is just too massive. Alrighty, sorry Khatep, it's been very fun with this thing, but not this for now. Though funnily enough, the upkeep is completely irrelevant to us. Return it for now. There's a decent likelihood we'll get it back, though. One of our allies will probably draw it. Let's see. Open graves. Chariots not on fire. Cultist of Assyrian Sword of Cain rests for now. Great. And, alright, this guy's still here. Yeah, I guess you are going to get that scorpion. Good for you, sir. Your first one. I don't know why you're here. Did we grab this island before going after Be'lakor, I wonder? Oh, this better not screw us. Try it, Khatep, come on. An island. Fortified Grog will give us Mathan's blessing. Then, Be'lakor is currently at war with Avalorn, Ivres, and Kuran. Alright, now. 105 and 105. I wonder if it's stuck. Join war against Be'lakor and Shadow Legion. Plus Shrine of Cain. 28. I just wanted to see how much the other stuff is worth. Watch the vassalization for this be just like a couple points short. And and declaring war on Be'lakor would have been the thing that would have carried it, but oh well. Eltharion likes us less, I think, so we could do Shadow Legion with him. Near to the defensive alliance. Could we maybe give him a building? And oh, would you look at that? Kalador has revived. I wonder if we should wipe them out and take Vol's Anvil so that we could give it to these guys. And this is just regular Kalador, it's the minor faction, it's not the Knights of Kalador, so... Not quite the same thing. And oh! They didn't take the Tower of Lysaon. Huh. That's actually interesting, because we could potentially trade it to Illyrian for Tordranil, then trade Tordranil to Toran or to Avalorn, thereby increasing the value of the Shrine of Cain, and possibly getting that vassalage. Well, there's certainly potential for it. Alright, well, either way, it doesn't change the fact that we should declare war on Be'lakor. He won't give us Port Alastor. I'm just looking at territories that we could potentially give him. We could give him Cairn... Wait, actually, can we give him Cairnthel? I'm not sure that we can. Oh, dude, you're going to take the Shrine of Loek, which will prevent these guys from getting a full territory, won't it? Oh, shame. How much is Angariel worth to you? 9. Barely anything, really. And... oh, we can give you Cairnthel. Plus... declare war on Be'lakor, giving us a defensive alliance with you. And the vision that we want from you, and hopefully, and you better not die. Yes, propose offer.
For the fallen.
Alright, good. Now we got the 2 main factions that we wanted, plus we're at war with Be'lakor, and... we should probably kill off this army. Hopefully we can still reach Be'lakor. You know what, if we auto-resolve, we should be sufficiently damaged that Be'lakor will be willing to fight us. Although, is this too damaged? Then, since we no longer have the Sword of Cain, we probably don't really need to be on the steed anymore, and we can switch back to the caskets. Executioner's Axe will give you sundering armor on your casket attacks, which is kind of interesting. Why not? Alright. And that will hopefully power up the other caskets. Now, Be'lakor will probably run, but maybe not, who knows. No he won't. Lovely, alright, I'm happy about this. I'm actually glad that we auto-resolve, because I'm pretty sure he would have run otherwise. Go. Alrighty, here we go again. Khatep is back on his deck and will be firing off those souls at the enemy together with the other caskets playing backup. We've got a fairly decent force arrayed against us, however, so we will have to be careful. And I just gotta say, this campaign has had so much variety in the enemies that we've been fighting against. I'm quite impressed. I'm actually starting to really like this start for Khatep just by sheer virtue of all the types of enemies that are available to us. And we could have fought even more enemies should we have decided to fight the Wood Elves or the Dwarfs, etc, etc, etc. But for example, last episode we fought 4 different ones. This episode we fought what? The Dark Elves, the High Elves under Tyrion, the Slaaneshi under KARI, and now the Warriors of Chaos under BELA. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, here we go. We'll start the battle off with those souls screaming down on the Chaos Warriors below and applying that armor sundering with Khatep in a fairly wide area, which is what makes me interested about that contact effect. I will, however, keep a lookout for items that apply possibly toxic venom or any other kind of damage over time poison effect, because that would be crazy on the Caskets of Souls. Granted, they have a limited number of units that they can apply to, but it's basically a guaranteed hit with them every time, and the toxic venom does tend to rack up kills quite a bit, as we have seen them do plenty of damage to enemies via the chariots and the necrotex that happened. I can't remember the name of the skill, but anyway. Be'lakor is moving towards us. He's been taking hits as he does. It'd take a nice couple spirit leeches as well as a Shem's Burning Gaze. Don't use it a lot, but it does dish out, what, maybe 10% damage to him? It's something. We'll need to reduce his capabilities in melee, especially as the Sphinx of Usak is now not backed up by Khatep with the Sword of Cain. Anyway, Be'lakor comes down, and we will... Okay, now he comes down, and we will begin this Clash of the Titans. The Be'lakor looking rather small compared to the Sphinx there. And, ooh, looks like that shadow effect, Shadow Shroud is active, looking pretty darn nice. But will that be enough? Spirit Leeches there, the Sphinx of Usak whacks away at him, and the enemy army surges towards us. Looks like some Demonettes and Chaos Chariots have made their way in, but the Khatep guard will, well, guard Khatep and prevent them from moving in. Are, by the looks of it, taking some pink horror shots on our Necrotech, or at least one of our Necrotechs. Just gotta be careful and actually dodge those. But if those guys want to sort of sit still and fire in the way that they are, they're going to suffer for it as the Caskets of Souls will destroy them. Be'lakor's down to 30% of his HP and is beginning to waver over on the rightmost flank. A unit of Fleshhounds was attempting to flank us, but met a terrible end as the Knights of Asaph and the Storm Riders of Ksar found them in the woods and obliterated them there. Similar sort of thing happening on the leftmost flank, as well as the regular Necropolis Knights have taken out the Chaos Warhounds and prevented any enemy flanking maneuvers. Bounce power's at about 70% now. Our Tomb Guard still holding, Sphinx still fighting away at Be'lakor. Against Be'lakor, I should say. And doing quite well at it. Man, once again, this Sphinx has done so much for us. I was originally going to just put 4 Hyro Titans in this army and take the Sphinx of Usak out, but honestly, I'm kind of attached to it in this particular army now. It's done so much for us, I kind of feel bad moving it anywhere else. So we could do 4 Hyro Titans, but keep the Sphinx. I believe somebody in the comments called it Khatep's bouncer, and I like the idea of it being his personal bouncer, so why not? Alright, and it's doing its work quite well. Once again, Be'lakor has been defeated by Spell and by Sphinx Blade, and the battle is very much shifting in our favor. Our melee infantry have taken a fairly decent bit of damage, but once again, our constructs are more or less fine at this point. We also got to remember that we still do have the chariots in this army, and they are going to be, well, not performing too well, let's say, against the Warriors of Chaos, except against Marauders and things like that. And frankly, these ones are nearly destroyed anyway. Anyway, looks like a few units of Hounds of Decay are heading towards us, and we kind of missed it here, but the Hounds of Decay, 2 units of Hounds of Decay, surrounded the Sepulchral Stalkers and were able to rip 4 or 5 of them apart without taking really any damage. Gotta respect the Hounds of Decay, they're a very, very solid unit, and there's a reason you pretty much spam them whenever you play any Chaos faction that has access to them, or the Hounds of Pestilence for the Beastmen as well. That said, the Sepulchral Stalkers did their work. They deployed out here and quickly ripped apart the enemy Chaos, or the Hell Cannon, even if it did cause them to get ripped apart by the Chaos Warhounds or the Hounds of Decay in turn. That said, it also kept the Hounds of Decay out of the battle, whereas the Sepulchral Stalkers were then able to simply move off the battlefield with the draw without taking any further damage, leaving us to destroy the rest of the relatively unsupported enemy army, and now simply chase down the Hounds and give the battle the victory to us. Very nice. A bloody battlefield and a bloody end for Be'lakor, but it's the Bell o' the Ball defeat trait that we were really after. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have bothered. That's not true. I was about to say, I wouldn't have really bothered declaring war on Be'lakor, but him being right beside us, I probably still would have, just for the potential of the fun battle, and a fun battle it was. Very nice yet again, Khatep, who needs the Sword of Cain to win battles, I guess, especially when you got 3 caskets. Alrighty, there we go, and Be'lakor defeated as well. Very nice. Very nice indeed. He did decent damage, cut him down to a mere 19k, compared to when he had the Sword of Cain, obviously a lot weaker, though the loose formation of a lot of the enemy units did prevent our caskets from doing as much as they would against blobs of infantry. Otherwise, the Sphinx did well as it usually does. The Tomb Guard held the line well, and the Venom Knights of Asap absolutely cleaned house with that toxic venom of theirs. We are going to... I keep taking the money, and we're certainly racking up a decent amount of money now. Though I suppose there's a lot of things in the research tree that also cost a lot of money, so to be fair. Endless March once again. Will we be able to catch this army and destroy it is a question. It looks like just barely so, but yes, and we get Bella the Ball. Casualty replenishment trade, wins a magic power reserve capacity, even more mana for Khatep, and weapon strength for the army. He's racking up some great defeat traits. Kill. Out of resolve. Hopefully that didn't do too much damage to us, and were the Necrotects always that damaged? I don't remember. You know what, let's take Bind Souls for this, just for the additional casualty replenishment rate. And we can't go... Okay, well, we'll have to stay in our current place, because we can't go March stance. Also, did we get another one of these? Yes, Fuse into Golden Mask of Karnot. How about no? How about Golden Mask of Karnot and other Golden Mask of Karnot fuse into an Obsidian Blade? Very nice. Alright, that one will be useful for one of the sort of more fighty melee lords. Well, I suppose we got enough stuff on Khatep that if we want to take him off the casket, we could still give him like an Obsidian Blade or something and have him fight. Though once again, I do kind of like the idea of the Contact Sundered Armor effect. Man, if we could give him a poison effect on the Casket of Souls, that would probably be pretty darn devastating. Anyway, next up, we've got the Golden Host of Mahrok. We could enable the recruitment of one of the unique Tomb Guard units. We do want Khatep to have those, and I believe some of them should have halberds as well. But they will take a while to recruit. Oh, speaking of recruiting, you just finished up. I mean, we got more Ushabti, but we'll be increasing Ushabti capacity. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, folks, with that. I think we're out of time, and I am going to have to call the episode here. Next time, I'm going to try to get our first battle off with Ramaranef, and by the looks of it, since the dwarfs are approaching, it will probably move up here and destroy their territories, take their territories, whatever. Rahobi might move towards Khag Grief, and I'm not entirely sure how we'll deal with the rest of this with Khatep, but we still have to wipe out retain, that'll take precedent, and that'll mean heading the Maelstrom and a few other things as well. So, stay tuned for more Khatep as we move towards, hopefully, a long victory. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.